I saved it. So you know that machine from Gladiator with the I sent a video.
Oh.
He's like 9,000 pesos.
Why is it announcing it?
Fuck.
Voice in general just makes it even funnier.
Yeah. Yeah, Dominican Spanish is just like gibberish essentially, and I think we got that because so Italy, obviously took over Dominican Republic. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just got like the accent from them.
Right.
I don't even be understanding other Dominicans. I'm like, huh? Speak slowly, please.
You gotta promise you hold me.
What song you singing, Zoro?
The fuck's the song from Romeo Santos and Usher?
Oh, I know you told me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Promise to hold me.
I promise. There we go. Yeah.
I give you my heart, girl, but you gotta promise.
That you let me be.
Promise you'll hold me.
Tell me.
Love me.
Touch me.
Love me.
I don't know how he does that scream.
Riesiger Skyfish, Baby.
Oh, Skyfish.
Yes.
Hold on.
It's a skyfish.
Der riesige Skyfish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah. As Ariana Grande says it.
Lysa.
Oh no! It's not called Lysop. Guess how this is pronounced?
How is it? How is it pronounced?
Lysop.
Oh,
Luso.
that's funny. Lysop.
Luso. Luso.
Soga King.
Then how
Lysop.
is Luffy pronounced Luffy or Goofy?
Ruffy.
Ruffy.
Ruffy. Funny.
Then we have Toro, Nami, Sanji, because legit nothing changes here. Brooke, Frankie, Robin. Ah ne, warte, in Germany it's called Robin.
Robin.
Und Tony Chopper.
Tony Chopper.
Tony
Pretty
Chopper.
much, yeah. Trommelfeuer.
Boku wa Dota. Tony Chopper.
Also, the weird thing is, Gear 2 is called Zweiter Gang here. Which, weirdly enough, is not the translation of Gear 2.
What's that translation?
It is second. It's pretty much second turn.
Second turn. Dang.
Let's see, 600-pound cannon. Love this move.
Ooh.
600 million berry jackpot.
Ooh.
I have to 800 SP. Jesus Christ. This better one-shot Whitebeard.
Listen, man.
Also,
I was watching back at some of the Olympic games from this summer, and there was actually a lot of like for the track and field part, there was a lot of anime references being made, like mostly from like the Latin American team, like the Latin
generally in most Olympic sports, you see like people making like references.
Like they were making like the Gear 5 symbols and everything. Like I
Oh
think there
yeah.
was the one of the athletic the athletes from actually the Dominican Republic was making the Gear 5 symbol from with his hand. And after I saw a video that was like a group of like Dominicans on a boat, and they were like, "We're gonna find the one," in Spanish. They were saying,
Pirates
"We're
on
gonna
a
find the
boat.
One Piece."
Pirates on a
Yeah,
boat.
we're gonna find the One Piece. And when it's like Blackbeard, we find you. We're gonna castrate you.
Huh? You know, knowing Blackbeard, I can understand that, but
Yeah. Still though.
castration is still a weird way to go.
Yeah,
I,
it
I
is.
I think that's a translation. I think
I I
because
ho-
he says Barbanega cuando llegaramos te vamos a degranar. That's what I understood. Degranar
uh
means yeah.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, no, I guess, it's he's a ride or die,
I
to be
mean,
honest,
he fucked
the,
up one too many times. Gotta
but
castrate him now.
pretty much
Uh,
yeah. He jerked his flame harpoons in his chest.
hey, listen, he's starting to become a problem now, okay? He's got two devil fruits.
Yep.
He's got
He fucked
he's,
up Law. He knows
he
that
did.
he stole Law's hat.
He did. That's fucked up in itself considering how fucking strong Law is.
Yep.
But um yeah, no, he's starting to become a problem now. I was just talking
Er,
about this with my homie just the other day. Like, yeah, he was getting fucked up a little bit these past couple episodes himself, but he still ain't nobody to play with.
hmm? I I gotta say too, his fucking crew. I love the fact that he makes like a a full group of like, oh yeah, everyone in my group has a devil fruit. What's our boat?
Mhm.
A giant log of wood. How did we survive this far?
Oh god,
You
it's
you
like
would you would you
he's
would
the
imagine
opposite.
maybe they would have gone the Titanic route, make it metal, but no.
They, yeah, no, you think that, I mean, secure a better, way of transportation on water, having devil fruits and such. But uh,
I mean, because if they fall in, they drown in. So
Yep.
yeah,
wouldn't be
no,
me.
yeah, no. But it's funny that he's the opposite of what Shanks is in that sense. A
I
crew full of devil fruit users, and Shanks just a crew full of hockey users.
Yeah, just a group full just and that one fat man who just eats meat the entire time. Love that
Yeah,
guy.
no, yeah. I don't know what else his purpose inside the crew is, but you know what? It's do you, man?
I'm just
Is
waiting
it?
for the next season of the live action.
Honestly,
Ju-
I enjoyed the live action a lot.
The live
yeah,
action was good.
fun,
It was
fun.
actually really.
I genuinely am surprised at how well they handled the live action.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Well,
it
they
no,
just
got Oda on it.
oh
They
yeah
got
yeah,
yeah, yeah
Oda.
like but the fact that they're pretty much making it just like a really shortened version of everything is genuinely a good idea because
there's
legit
one thing.
most of my friends ask me how I have survived this long in the One
Yeah,
Piece fan base. They do not know that I've been watching this show since I was fucking 6.
it's there's one thing people are always going to complain about when it comes to One Piece is just how long One Piece is, and
It
for
it
them
is
to
it is, but if you're like me who just binge watches something you're hyper fixated on, that's like a good 2 months.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
But
it's definitely good, but to give it to
It's
let
a lot.
people who yeah, give it to people who or don't hyperfixate and don't have as much of a
yeah.
attention span as that, and that's a good way to still show the story out while showing the major parts in it where they'll still be able to talk about it
Well,
even
I mean,
if
aren't they remaking it though?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
of
yeah. There's a remake coming out from a different studio.
I
But
think it's Wit Studio, the same people who
yeah,
made
with
Mugen.
studio, there's also a bit of drama around that just because of a shot that let's just say the skin color of Usopp is a bit questionable.
oh no.
Every single season they make that man lighter and lighter.
Yep.
Huh?
I love the fact how Nico Robin went from one of the coolest,
Yeah, no.
one of the first. I would say she looks black in the pre-time skip. I would
Yeah,
say she's a person of
like
color. And
person of
in
color.
yeah, 2 years later, apparently to lose the melanin in her blood, she just had to go to a country that's where it snows.
Well, I mean, that,
The
that is
snow
how white.
absorbed all the color.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it makes sense, but
Yeah. But
It could have
like,
been like at
I,
least a little bit more, a little bit darker. Like yeah, she got a bit paler, but she has some color there. But
yeah, I mean, you're not gonna lose all your fucking melanin. You're gonna maybe lessen a shade or two, but
yeah,
you're
maybe
not
you're gonna be
gonna.
like a shade lighter or two, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's crazy.
That's the same with that one. There is a Indian man in Black Butler, and
Oh yeah.
the prince, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
in the new season of Black Butler, I was like, yeah, we're gonna see him back. I'm like, why is he white?
Well, I didn't even bother looking at it.
I just saw that one scene and I was like, that's it. Okay. No, because I was excited. I was like, yeah, we're probably gonna get an actually accurate fucking season to the manga because the first two were questionable to say the least.
They're keeping the black and white in.
No, because my issue with the Black Butler adaptation. Hold on. Okay. My issue with the Black Butler adaptation is that they focus too much on fan service, and not the actual fucking plot of the manga, which the manga is way better. I read the manga; it's really good. Um, they focus too much fan service on a fucking child and a demon. No one wants that.
Yeah, but it's crazy. He's like 12 or 13. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, no, they be sexualizing. I'm like, did we forget that he's a sexual? He's a sexual. He's a sexual abuse survivor.
SA survivor. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a survivor. Yeah, like the fuck is wrong
Like
with you?
I couldn't finish that show. Just like I watched like I think up until like episode like 5, maybe 6. But then after like that, I was like, no, this is way too much. I'm done. Bye.
Understandable. I remember when I was like 13, I see people shipping. I was like, this. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Hold on, it's a little questionable.
Listen, man, my Tumblr page, people hated me on there for a good reason. I spoke the truth. I spoke the truth.
Once again, another very interesting start to a stream.
You can't just be
I
starting
think
the stream
just
off
like
like that.
start
you
letting
need
us
to like
know.
warn me the
Yeah,
shit
you should
I can
just start
possibly
letting us
say
know.
before when you go live. Like,
Oh, because
I
Let
feel
me
like
tell you
I
something.
feel
No,
like
'cause
that
I
should be
pinged you.
common knowledge
I
from
pinged you
you, the
guys.
man who's running the stream. Be like, hey guys, I'm starting stream now.
Yeah,
Okay?
pretty much.
Fantastic.
If
Like
my profile picture is both a joke and a warning.
it
Oh.
is. Yeah, just letting you know, we say even crazier shit off stream, so I
Mhm.
don't think you want that shit to be streamed.
On stream and off stream are two different people,
Yeah,
night and day, and that's not a racial comment.
not yet.
Well,
Because I got in trouble for that thing.
I had it
Uh-huh.
pinged. I thought you guys saw the ping. I guess not. That's on me then. That's on me. But we are indeed not yet starting as Yaka. Yaka here now? No, has he come back yet?
Yaka's still showering.
Okay,
I'm
that's
here.
cool.
At least
Oh
one.
wait,
no,
no,
you're
he's here.
Oh, what the fuck?
He's here.
I'm done showering and I ate a whole pork chop.
Great.
I had
A
some
pork chop.
I had some soup. Got my laundry.
He ate a whole
and-
pork chop.
I had
Let's
some soup.
go.
I had some soup. Ate some. What the fuck? Ate some soup.
And
Got my
they know it's
laundry.
still-
And then now I am ready for our D&D. Yeah. Okay. So, I will say, today, unfortunately, will not have any combat. This is more so of just, a bit more of some roleplay section that will kind of play out a bit more to.
That's
Kinda
the
get it
best
built.
part.
Yes.
Honestly, I thrive with this. Bring it on.
Alright. By the way, did Lino say to start without her?
No, she'll say she'll be here soon, and that was 40 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
guess
give it.
hang on, let me.
We'll give it another 15.
Oh my god, these fucking firefighters! Jesus Christ!
I'm sorry. Uh, we'll give it another 15 to 20 minutes before we start. Because I do need to refill my water bottle so that I do have some water on hand on stream, and I just dropped my phone. What the fuck?
No, I live near a fire. I live like literally 2 minutes from a fucking fire station, and that shit like be. Woo, woo, woo. I think I remember one time that shit was heard on stream. I was like, bruh.
Oh my goodness. Why do people not have some fucking courtesy when it comes to fucking? Oh my god, it pissed me off. Hold on, y'all.
The thing is, my sister's mother-in-law volunteers at that same fire department as an EMT.
Wow. Good for her.
Yeah.
I just got back with a full bottle of water.
Woo! Water! Wait,
But,
where's my bottle opener?
I just saved myself $150.
nice.
I need my
Huh?
second bottle of Spezi.
May the person referred to as Lino please show her attendance or notify her peers of her current status. Current state. Okay. I like the professionalism in that hierarchy.
You gotta be professional when talking to people about them being late in D&D. Because the asshole way doesn't work. I know from experience.
It just doesn't. Okay.
My only
Already.
way is the asshole way.
Apparently, I'm glad that we are still in an intermission because now I'm being yelled at to make rice. So now I have to go do that while we're in this intermission.
Goddamn.
Not
You know
the
what?
rice.
So we'll do it like this. When I finish making rice and I get back, if she's not here, then we'll get started, okay? Because the rice shouldn't take too long. So if she's not back by the time I get back making rice, we'll get started.
Okay.
I gotta say, I find it funny how I keep finding lighters in my street. And the thing is, I don't smoke. I don't even know why I have these. I just pick them up and give them to friends when they need one.
You are a great friend, Hariki. I'll let you know that, man.
Yeah, like I can't even count the amount of times I was with my friends. They were smoking, and they were like, "Do you have a lighter?" And I just bring one out from my jacket.
I'm like a fucking dealer.
Pretty much. Hell, actually, good thing that we just discussed this. Hold on, I need to show you a jacket that I bought recently. That, for the Tekken players here, you might find this one familiar to a certain Steve fit. Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Sit on this buddy. Stay free.
Damn Primark. And my room is not light up enough.
Oh my!
Like this shit's like large. And the best part about it is, usually I have my stuff in here in my inner pocket, so I can just like need something.
That's funny. That's funny as fuck. Bro got the dealer.
Oh,
jacket.
So-
Cloud would love that.
Yeah, like this is like a really cool jacket. I need to. It's a Primark name to it. It's a large.
Oh, that's funny. I was actually gonna tell my sister if we wanted to go to Primark this Sunday.
Yeah, I suggest getting one. Like these things, I'm gonna be honest. If you ever go like outside, and you have like a really shitty seating location, those jackets are lifesavers or ass savers, you could say. Like, I'm not kidding. The amount of times I've been sitting on concrete and these jackets make it just bearable.
Yeah, no, I gotta run to Primark now and buy them.
Mm-hmm. They're not exactly. Actually, let me check real quick.
No, I don't think they're that expensive. I think here I got a. That's actually pretty cheap. I think when I went the last time, I bought a couple of stuff. It rounded up for like $40-something, which is not bad.
Wait, 40? Damn. Yours are way cheaper than my shit.
Yeah.
Hold up, let's see. Jackets.
I did have to take in account of the measurements because obviously the European to United States metric. So when I got yeah.
In terms of comparison, it shouldn't be that bad, I'd say.
No, it's just so I know for medium it said like 8 to 10, large was like 12 to 14, and I was like, oh, this is yeah.
Was mine.
So I had to get a couple medium stuff, a couple large stuff. Which is not, I guess I'm not too like crazy about it, but yeah.
Not it anymore? Huh?
Still on the free. Pardon me. Still on the free. Isn't a big old free.
Oh, those are underpants. That's not the jacket at all.
Pantalones.
I love this.
Damn, they have Star Wars onesies.
Just a bunch of ants shaking hands. Look at that.
Okay, I have just gotten back from making rice. Rice is cooking now. So, any changes?
So far, Lino has not replied.
Oh.
Never mind.
I'll be on soon.
I'll be on soon, okay.
Alright, then I guess we'll just go ahead and get started.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello there, everybody. A very long and arduous start to a D&D stream, but hello! Welcome back to our D&D stream for Eyes of Astra, session 18. We are here today to continue our little adventure with our dear party members. Let's go ahead and give a bit of an introduction to everybody. Let me go ahead and grab my dice real quick and see who we will start with first on introduction. 1 second. Wait, this is my D20 set. Shit, I forgot I didn't put it by coloration of dice. I actually put it by the number of what type of dice they are. I'm an idiot. Let's see. We can rock a D6. Let me see about a D6 real quick. Hold on a minute. Fuck, I don't actually remember where I put all of my D6 because I put them in a different spot. Because I'm an idiot, chat. There we go. Okay, let's roll a D6 and see who we get started with first. 4. Let's start with Sailor and her 2 characters that she plays.
Hooray. Hello, my name is Sailor. I play both Karuni and Celeste. Celeste being the bard of the group, and Karuni being the half-elf ranger wizard of the group.
Half-elf ranger wizard. Interesting
Yeah.
set of names.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and add the music as well. And you guys should also tune in to be able to hear the music too. It's gonna change just a tiny bit. Just a tad bit.
Most excuse me, I am rather stuffy, so.
Yes, so apparently a lot of people in our group have been getting sick. I have no clue what has happened. Apparently it's been named, the Texas flu or something?
The Texas flu.
Yeah, the Texas flu.
No, I'm just kidding.
I still love the joke that you made earlier about Ayaka. This idiot thinks sex is flu. That was good.
It's funny.
Make dice roll. 6. Baprold. Go ahead and give an introduction to yourself, Haruki, as well as the character you play.
Hello, it's me, ya boy. Haruki playing the demonizer, the woman layer, the
later.
insert title that has something to do with manageably evil and nice at the same time. That is Bapro.
Quite the introduction to Baprold, indeed. Holy shit.
I'm here.
Hello. Hello there. I'm just rolling to see who will give the next introduction. It's a 3. Zoro. Go ahead and give an introduction to your totally not coincidentally named character.
My name's Zoro. Character I play is Zoro, the Grash that has been alive for 20,000 years, and is currently right now in the process of learning new shit. So excited.
Indeed. Okay, we'll do it like this. For Eric and Shamar, I have a number in my head. Give me a number between 1 through 5.
Cube of like all the people in this group to start a competition between two.
That's
Star?
coincidental.
I'm confused.
Ladies
Fine.
and gentlemen, welcome
Why can't you
Q,
just roll again?
Okay,
prime
alright,
instigator.
alright. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to get a
Fucking
number.
jackass.
Hold on.
Fuck you.
I got a 1. Coincidentally, it is Eric now. I'll give my introduction at the end. But yes, Eric. Go
Yay.
ahead.
Alright, my name's Eric with a K. I'm half demon, half human sorcerer. And I'm the strongest. Everyone is nice to me. And that's about
Lamau.
And,
Stop the cap.
Lastly, for now, until our other player comes in, our dearest Shamar, who, as well as Star. Go ahead and give an introduction.
Hello. I'm Star. I play Shamar, who is currently trapped in the prison realm. I was gonna say she's maybe gonna kill Aragon. No, I'm joking. She's fine. She's gonna be going through a lot this session, so best of luck to her. I hope she's okay.
Speaking of other players.
Speaking of our other player, but before that,
Speaking of
everybody
our other
here say happy
of our
birthday
other
to
player.
our dearest Star, because it is her birthday today.
Happy
To you.
birthday
Day to you. Happy
Don't
birthday,
give
dear
up,
Star.
Don't give up, Star.
Happy
birthday
Don't
to
give
you.
up, Star.
It is Star's
Don't
birthday.
be a
Holy
dick.
shit. What in the fuck is going on? But
Funny
yes. Yes, a very special happy birthday to Star, as it is her birthday today. And
That means you have to give her a level up and also armor and also all the things.
You can count on Cube to give her armor.
I will
He's our
probably-
armor king.
I'll probably outsource it to somebody. Anyway. Okay, enough of the air
Careful
horn.
what you wish
Enough of
for.
the air horn. No more of the air horn. All right. And lastly, but not least, our final member,
Debatable.
Lino. Go ahead and give an introduction to you and your character.
Are we just starting?
Yes.
Yes. We're giving introductions.
Oh, hi. I'm Lino.
Okay, who do you play as
I'm
Lino?
Dory.
It seems like she plays Lino in the
Oh.
story. I see.
I don't think that that who I play is relevant, considering I don't like her.
She's playing.
Relevant
She's
to
playing
the
Sonic
audience.
the Hedgehog. She's playing Sonic the
Damn.
Hedgehog
I guess-
delusionally.
Delusional.
And wait a minute, Cube. Wait a minute. Wait.
Oh,
Wait.
Oh,
I have to
no.
DM you right now.
No fucking.
Yeah, I play
Fuck.
Valkyrie for now.
Oh no. I don't like the sound of that. I don't know what she's insinuating with this, because I, the DM, was not known about this as well. So technically, you could say
Oh.
the DM was fooled by a DM. Haha.
Boo.
I know.
I'm
it
a
is
dungeon master in player's clothing.
Yes, I am a comedic genius. I'm really
Kill
Hee hee hoo
yourself.
hoo.
not.
Damn.
All right.
Do I get an inspiration for my birthday?
Yes, you do. I actually will give that to you. A free
Yay!
inspiration.
You would never
because
do
it
that
is your
shit for my birthday. I tell you what.
Well, is it your birthday, Yaka?
You wouldn't. You know you
Who's
wouldn't.
that?
You get a -1 on every roll.
Yeah.
Can that be?
Star
Can
is
we?
best.
Star actually wished her on a Yaka free session for her birthday.
Damn.
No, Eric.
Oh
Wow.
my
That's
god.
great.
All right. We
Or
can't go
toxic
that
workplace
far.
environment.
We can't
Let's
go
just
that
start.
far.
Let's just
Yoo-hoo.
start.
Yes, but
Yeah, look what I
we'll go.
say.
We'll go. I did see what you sent me, and I did respond to it. But
No, no.
who here would like to earn an inspiration die besides Star, because she already got one? Who here would like to earn an inspiration die based off of what happened in the last session?
I can try.
If Sarah wants to go ahead, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So last session, which happened last week, essentially what happened was that we went out, we saw the crystallized boss that was before Archie, and then he transformed into that, and it's like, damn, you know, it's kind of sad. So a lot of fuck shit happened. We're battling the boss. Motherfucker had four attacks, which is like insane to me. Then
Yeah.
again, I don't know what was going on in Q's mind, but like, whatever. And Shamor was like, I have a brilliant idea. Why don't I go to Sky and jump?
A beautiful may I say a beautiful rendition
She should
of the
just get
conversation.
the inspiration now, to be honest.
Inspiration now.
Shamor was like, it's like, I have a brilliant idea. I go up to Sky and jump down and slice the boss in half. Which she did. She took 100 and something damage, which was insane to me, but she still survived that. And I gotta say,
And it took
she
that
has
twice
to-
over.
That's right.
Yeah, she fucking did that twice over with her and the fucking shadow, which is insane to me. Still, because my mind would not even be able to comprehend that during the whole heat of the battle. Afterwards, everybody's like, "Yeah, we defeated the boss! Yoo-hoo! Go and celebrate!" When we reached the gates, guess who arrived? Baprolled after like fucking forever. The whore. The whore.
Quite the title.
The whore. Yeah. And so, we were like, oh my god, you're back, that's so great. And he was like in his Delulu state, and he was flying around and shit and being like confused as fuck. And then he gets Linton's skull, and all of a sudden he's back to normal, some like I don't fucking know, like bipolar shit. And we went to the some people went to the tavern. Shamar and went back to the quarters, like the soldier quarters. Zoro followed behind her. Celeste went to go and to try and talk her shit with her. Karina went to go see her parents. In the tavern, some fuck shit happened, where Brad pulled. In my honest opinion, I feel like he should have still done it. He beat up a guy who was being a pervert to Falkro, and Yako and Eric, sorry, was like, you still kind of did a crime, so I'm gonna have to take you in. And everyone was like, don't do that. And Falkro was like, being the biggest op in the room and saying like, yeah, no, like,
Yeah, no, she was a
Falkro was being the biggest
D1 instigator.
against Eric. Like if she says that if Eric has no haters, I'm dead. And and yeah, like after that, Karina came in and she's like, all right, Eric, come with me. We're gonna talk about some stuff and also feel like just a lot of shit happening. So they both left. Celeste went to go and meet with Shamar, and now she sees Zoro, who are now in Aragon's home. and dealing with the whole, you know, child turning into crystals or some shit, you know, cursed shit. And Celeste was like, "Yeah, I came to here to apologize," and Shamor was like, "No, you know, I can't accept your apology because you used charm spell against me." And Celeste was like, "Well, I'm so sorry," and Shamor still said some stuff, and they almost got into a cat fight. And then what I remember after that was like a lot of like parental issues surfaced, arriving, and Shamor's in a
Yeah,
coma.
someone,
Against
yeah, because like Aragon's wife was actually fucking like being a mom, unlike Astra. She just like, "Nyeh." So it's like finally
yeah,
stuff like, oh my god, someone gives a shit about me, mom.
yeah. And let me tell you something. That bitch Astra's still gonna owe me that child support money.
She does.
But that's about it.
Oh, the
I leave
child
for 1 minute and we're talking about child support. Who got who pregnant?
It wasn't me.
Wait.
support.
It wasn't me. The fuck is you talking about?
Quite the interesting way to describe how last session went. Which, by the way, it wasn't wrong. I gotta say, wasn't wrong. Wasn't wrong for not. I'd say 100% of that. That was not wrong at all to a T. If you guys want to check it out, you should check it out on the last one, Eyes of Astra session 17. I would highly recommend checking it out.
I'll be honest with you, that's just how I recap most shit. Like if you tell me how to recap something, I got you.
I'd say that in terms of completion or like actuality rate, the impression alone gives it a 20% boost.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
super accurate.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, the Russian accent? Yeah, I used to do a lot of that.
You should make Karuni sound like that.
Hold on, I need to.
Oh, like with a Russian accent?
Wait, but she's like her whole thing's that she's
Just
Southern.
make
Never mind.
elves have Russian accents. Change it from Southern to Russian.
Honestly though, if I could do a Russian accent, I would do a Russian accent.
Do the Russian accent, my dear. Do the Russian accent.
To be honest,
My name is Seymour.
since we have almost made it that Infernal is canonically German, I am motivated to make it so that Baproot learns Infernal just so I can make the accent more believable.
Just to make it more believable.
You could always talk to Karoni because she knows Inferno.
That is
Who?
also true.
Oh, I
That
think
is true, so she knows German.
I think
Southern
one
girl
guy
knows
in
German, that's
Southworld
funny.
does too.
Can't actually tell. If
No, that was funny when I was like, Shamer, so she goes, I look at sky and it dropped down. Just
so casually.
Exactly.
So casually.
Yeah,
No, that guy jumps on
you
you.
can just have a yap session in Infernal.
But yes, you do get an inspiration die for that very interesting way of describing how the last session went. So go ahead and give yourself an inspiration die, Sailor. But
Yeah.
yes, continuing off, we've had a 2 to 3 day time skip where after the disappearance of the architect's assistant, by the way, very aptly named Azatoth, there was no news about the architect. The only news that had sprouted was news of villages, some villages and small cities starting to turn into complete, pretty much pieces of art, where the entire cities would be turned into glass. Well, not really glass, crystals to be a bit more precise. And news of this would
Pieces of
spread
art,
like...
bro.
News of this would spread like wildfire throughout the world, and it would pretty much become something that is definitely concerning to many. To a point where during this 2 to 3 day time skip, we're gonna go ahead and get the player's perspective on what their characters would be doing. So for all of you, I'm gonna need you all to roll me initiative. I just need to know who will be going first for this. I need everybody to just roll me an initiative roll.
Hold up, I'm looking for my can
Okay.
opener. I'll be right there.
I'm rolling physical dice tonight, guys, because I have no net. So let me grab my
Maybe like
dice tower.
I thought you were always rolling physical dice.
okay.
No. I don't know where you got that idea from, but you're like actually fully wrong.
Bruh.
I'm using my spiky new dice today.
All right.
I got a 19.
I got hold on, what's my modifier? Because I'm not gonna forget to add it this time.
Please.
I got a 17.
Do I feel like using magical guidance to re-roll? Yeah.
No. This
Nat
fucking
20.
early? No way, dude.
Hell
Nat
yeah.
20.
Hell yeah.
Well, I know
I
So,
for
can't believe
Celeste, you
good
got.
where
go for
automatically Star gets nat 20s for the entirety of the session.
That is
Honestly.
genuinely actually a bad thing because I'm still looking for my can opener.
At this point, listen, man, do
Well, I
the do
mean,
the
Zoro rolled a dirty 21, so he could just go first.
Works for
Nah.
me.
Well, if he's cool with it, I'm
Celeste.
cool with it.
Celeste got
Okay.
a 6.
Sorry.
Um,
Okay, so shit came up where Milo took a bone from the garbage and he was chewing on a bone. Go ahead and give me everybody's initiative rolls.
I got a 17.
19.
I rolled a nat 20, but Zoro rolled a 21, and I still need to look for my wall-mounted can opener. So
What is your initiative modifier?
+0.
Oh, so it's so
How?
So Falkroll is 18 or 17.
Because he's a cleric.
Oh, I'm part cleric too.
Yeah, not
That's being
primarily.
hard.
Remind me again, Shamar. What was your initiative roll?
Hers was
19.
19. Baproll, we got a 20. Zoro got a 21. Eric?
14.
14.
Ha, you suck.
Celeste and Karuni?
Celeste, she got a 6. Karuni got a 15.
15. Okay, so we will begin.
Crickets.
We'll begin with Zoro. So, beginning with Zoro, it's only going to be a pure narrative portion, as I don't want to have to pull up the map, as it will probably kill the stream. But, Zoro, throughout this time, throughout these 2 to 3 days passing by, what was it that Zoro was doing throughout that whole skip?
So main portion being he was definitely around Aragon's place a lot. Whether it be to look after Shamar, Archie, and Sir Christian, or to also start to learn a little bit of blacksmithing from Aragon as well to
Okay.
kind of contribute a little bit more uh, to the safety of the group, because the last fight really opened his eyes on the fact that if he has the big guy's attention, it would have been fine had he continued wailing on him. But the rest of the group nearly died because they didn't have proper protection. So he wanted to solve that problem himself because he couldn't really rely on anyone else at that moment. And then he would also between being at Aragon's also be out here taking care of whatever he needs to take care of. I don't know if he would have talked to anyone about the whole situation that happened with Apple or Eric, depending on who would be around that area. But he'd still be around, but for the most part, he's over at Aragon's.
Okay. Yeah. So for this, we will kind of start a bit more on, probably about halfway through the 3rd day. For Zoro. For him, yeah, we'll start it from there with him. Next is Baprold. For Baprold, what was it that Baprold was doing during this time skip hierarchy?
So, pretty much in that entire time, he was either in the tavern or he was out in the woods, pretty much just beating up wildlife.
Oof.
To basically to quench something, just because he realized, okay, so I can't nearly beat to death people anymore here. Consequences are worse here. So he pretty much has decided, you know what? I'll just slaughter a pig.
Okay.
Not from farms, just like a wild one, because
Is that all? Is that all that Bapper was doing throughout that 2-3 day time skip, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Gotcha. Shamar, we'll get to her in just a moment.
Yeah.
Falcaro. What was Falcaro doing throughout that 2 to 3 day time skip?
She's probably kind of doing what she normally does, which she does tend to keep to herself, but she's, I think, a little stressed out because she still hasn't heard anything from her brother, and the courier is missing, and she's just like keeps writing letters. Like that's all she does is she's like panicking and writing letters to make up for the lost time that she hasn't gotten his letter yet.
Interesting. Okay.
And like to other people too, but mostly to her, mostly to Cephas,
Okay.
her king, her brother.
Okay. Who's next? Karuni. Karuni. What is it that Karuni was doing throughout this 2-3 day time? Or what is called 3 day time skip?
I feel like maybe the first 2 days, just probably mostly with her, with her parents, spending time with them, as I feel like she hasn't really spent much time with them recently, and she'll bring Hellfire over too, so Hellfire can get used to seeing them. And then also,
sorry, there was one thing I need to mention about Hellfire. Hellfire has gotten to a point where Hellfire is now pretty much the size of a think of it like a Siberian Mastiff. Those like an adult size Siberian Mastiff. So he has grown up big enough now. He is big. So I will say, walking around the city with a dragon does tend to have people turn eyes to you, but in the more playful manner, as of course, there are people that want to go see Hellfire.
Listen, man, that's her baby.
It's not every day you get to see a drake, growing up from an elf. So it's not every day. But yes.
That's her baby right there. That's her baby boy. And 2, I think she will go try to get some information out of Baxter. But I'm assuming she's probably going to be unlucky with that. But so I think, maybe like later on in the afternoon, she'll just go and spend time with Eric and talk about essentially like their plans for like the future and everything. That's pretty much.
All right. Eric, what is it that Eric would be doing throughout this time skip?
Well, Eric is doing what stuff with Karuni, so going out. He's definitely got a few dinner dates to make up for. Some discussions to be had, and I think, which I don't do a lot.
He don't do a lot.
I'm wondering where that staff is. He's getting kind of worried. It's been away for so long.
As for the staff, there are some people you need to talk to. But is there anything that
I
Eric
like talking to people.
Is there anything else that Eric does throughout this whole time skip? Just to confirm.
Probably study.
Fair. And lastly, Celeste. Throughout her time skip, what is it that she was doing throughout this time?
She is gonna, summon little Luna. Play around with Luna, try to see how she's able to summon the cat, desummon, try to figure out what they even do. That can benefit her. And I feel like she's gonna go meet up with with Aragon and probably Aragon's wife mostly, and bring like sweets and stuff that she would make. So she would try.
Interesting. Okay. So from this point, we'll start with Zoro. So Zoro, throughout this time, you have been visiting a lot with Aragon, always making sure that throughout that time, you're making sure that not Celeste, Shaymar is always fed, even though she is throughout her trance. You see that Aragon and a couple friends have also moved Shaymar to a more comfortable spot rather than sitting in a chair. They had her moved into a guest bedroom where she is laying down. You know, she is her eyes are still, you see that her eyes are still wide open, but physically she is completely okay. And of course, when you feed her, it's like her body it's almost like her body by second, by muscle memory knows how to be able to continue consuming food throughout that time she is in her state. You've spoken with Aragon, you've, gotten some time to kind of get more acclimated with some of the teachings of him. And I will say Aragon was a very strict teacher. He kind of makes sure that you had to get every little minute detail of blacksmithing down to a T before moving on to another step. So he trained you very tough. For this, I'm going to need you to give me a performance check.
Can I get it with advantage? Because technically I have proficiency with Smith's tools.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Can I use tactical mind?
That depends. I don't know if you don't know if you failed it or not. What is the roll?
I got
You
an
definitely
8.
failed.
Oh, you got an 8?
Yeah.
We'll allow tactical mind.
Okay. Wait. It's a D10, right?
Yeah, it's a D10.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking bullshit, man. All right, I got a 9.
9 total. So you know that the weeks have not been kind to you. You have, you've gone through hellish training, but the difficulty in trying to understand the little minute, like understanding the very small details that Aragon is trying to teach you is very, very tough to Zoro. And it has not been kind to you one bit, as Aragon is, like I said, a very strict teacher. So he made sure that you had to learn that the minute details are what make the weapon or the armor. So throughout the time, you've got some training with Aragon, learning blacksmithing. So you've gotten acclimated to using blacksmithing tools, working in a setting with the forge, anvil. And throughout this time, Aragon has also decided to bring up something that might interest you during this time, and it was something regarding rune carving. A very particular type of skill that a certain race of underground people only use, and it's a technique that is not exactly worldly known. It's only known as it's pretty much like a trade secret by one specific group of people that live deep underground. But of course, without the introduction, can't give anything away. Aragon has taught you maybe just a little bit of what he knows, as of course what he's taught you is not exactly something that he learned from somebody of that species. He's only just seen it off of, books or heard it from rumors, and he's kind of eyeballing it in some senses. So you're able to learn just a little bit of rune carvings. During this time, you are, returning back, coming back from the human world, making your way to Aragon's home. You blow the horn and you make your way in. And you see that Aragon is sitting next to Sir Christian and Archie, who seem to have set up. And throughout the time that you've been there as well, Archie and Sir Christian, holy shit, the echo is insane. Throughout the time that you were there, essentially, Archie and Sir Christian have been getting better. You notice that the major chunks of crystals that seem to be, protruding from Archie's body seem to have pretty much gone now. They've pretty much receded back and are completely gone. But you notice that the paper that had that small orb of light that kind of opened up, you see that there's little bits of crystals, but instead of it being crystals, it looks like those crystals are moving almost like little tiny insects of crystals. But this day, you've gone to see Aragon. You see that Archie and Sir Christian have got up now and seem to be awake.
Well, happy to see that you two are feeling better now.
You see Archie not say anything and kind of look away from you. You know, as Sir Christian looks up at you, he says, "Yes, sir. I'm feeling better. I don't know what it was that got infected with us, but it seems like it's gone now. I feel better. No longer feel loose in the only arm I have." You see that he kind of rolls his shoulder a little bit. He's like, "It actually feels a little lighter."
That's good to hear. Archie, you good there?
Archie doesn't say anything.
All right. Well, so what's the next step? Aragon is they're 100% good, or
You see Aragon kind of like looks over at Sir Christian. You see that he has like this weird monocle that has other smaller monocles to kind of like magnify what he's looking at. But you see that he moves the monocle away from his face as he gets up. He's like, "Well, I don't know, but from what I'm looking at, they look fairly okay. I've spoken to somebody who would be able to help with this type of thing, and they've said to just monitor them and make sure that if there are any more tiny parasites like these, you see that with like tongs, you see that he like small tongs, he picks up one of the crystals, and you see that it kind of like moves and like squirms inside in between the tongs. Like if there's any more of these that seem to be popping up from them, of course, without the colony, they're not going to be able to, to become something bigger and cause more of a problem in the person. So, just got to make sure that a few days here maybe should be a bit better. We don't want to get them exposed to anything else, of course, or get anybody else exposed to them. So, I think what we should do is keep them here. I'll obviously have some rooms for them in my house, and I'll see if I can try to get them all situated, and when they're ready, I'll make sure to go talk to you again and let you know that they're 100% okay.
all right? Yeah, no. However long is needed, and ain't no rush to get better.
Yes, but I do have something that you might want to take a look at. I've noticed that the seal that I've put on Shema has seemed to weaken, and it seems like Shema is starting to make her way out of her trance. So, I would suggest you visit more often than not, as I don't know if she'll be ready, of course, coming back from a very interesting place. So, if you
What
can,
is place that you sent her to, by the way?
um, you see Aragon kind of look at you with like a stern face, and he's like, it's let's say she'll be taking a walk through some memories of hers, and a little bit of mine, of course. Ones that will help her, of course. Not all of it, because all of it would be a bit interesting, so maybe not all of it. But yes, let's just say that she's taking a walk through her memories. Physically.
Please don't let Jamar see how Gerwin was conceived. That's for you and you alone.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something. Yeah.
So, okay, wait. Did she? She's walking through her memories. Like, I'm.
You see that he looks over at Sir Christian and Archie's like, the both of you, I'm gonna need you to stay here. I'm gonna go get you some tea. How does that sound? You see that Archie still doesn't say anything, but you see Sir Christian go over. He's like, that would be lovely. Thank you. You see that Aragon gets up and he nods at Sir Christian. He's like, should we go inside? It's gonna be a bit of a story. I have to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he'll go ahead and follow Aragon inside.
You see that, you make your way inside. You see that Aragon kind of gestures you to go have a seat. And you see that Aragon goes over and he starts, getting. You see that his wife had set up like a teapot with some fresh tea, of course, and some little snacks on a plate. And you see that Aragon gets two smaller cups and pours some tea in them before he goes over and puts the teacups on the little table in between the two seats that in front of his fireplace. Before he goes back and gets two more, and then you see that he leaves to go give Archie and Sir Christian a cup before he comes back, and he has a seat. He says, "So, to answer your question of where I've sent Shema, it's a little difficult to really describe. I've always just made the analogy that it's like she's walking through her memories, which you pretty much are in a certain state like that. But what it really is, it's essentially, right, it's a spell that basically forces the person's brain. How do I word this? It's like removing your soul, right, from your body and then looking at yourself from the third person. You know what I mean?
Zoro's not gonna try to say anything, but he takes a deep breath and nods.
You see that Aragon looks at you. Let me make a roll real quick. Aragon can tell that you are visibly confused in some senses. So you see Aragon lean over. He's like, "Let me put this into a bit more perspective."
Oh no, he's not confused. He's starting to get an understanding. That's why he's not saying anything.
You see that Aragon leans in. He's like, "Let me make this a bit more clear. So, what I mean is, think of it, right? You know how you look at a mirror and you're looking at yourself, right? But you're looking at a reflection of you. Think of it like you are in place of that reflection. So you're there looking at yourself, but with the added bonus of basically walking through your own memories. So let's say, for example, you and I had a fight, right? I know I'm not going to beat you in a proper fight, of course, because I'm pretty short, but let's say, for example, right? Me and you had a fight, and, there was a winner. What this spell does, right? Though the fight is over, you still have the memory of the fight in your brain. So, what it does is, it basically forces your body to... It forces your body to shut down, but it basically accelerates the process of your brain to the point where you are now looking at a memory that you want to look at. So if you want to think about that memory of that fight we had, you can look at it, and you can also look at yourself and me in that fight, and you can control, if there's something you want to change, like maybe you could have done something here and you could have changed the positioning of yourself or something like that. And it's, it allows you to look at a memory and kind of look and see if there's something you could change with it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's essentially what happened to Shema.
All right. Yeah. You say so she's reliving her memories and seeing if she can change them.
Yes, because with
Okay.
everything we've talked about, right? And listen, I know this might not be something that... It's probably something that's frowned upon. Don't get me wrong. I don't like doing this. I've had to do this a couple times. I don't like doing this. Yes. Well, the other times I did have to. This time, I was a little on the fence about it until I've spoken to her in that, you see that he kind of taps his temple a little bit.
Right.
Like, after I was talking with her in there, and it seems like she was adamant on seeing that she could change something. So I told her she can look at it as much as she wants, and you know, she's borrowed a little bit of power from me, so she'll be able to figure out, what she's looking at. She'll essentially be looking at it as much as she wants to, with some of the memories I've given her to kind of supplement that, so she can see like, oh, maybe if I'd done this, if something else happens, and listen, I know I'm gonna be frowned upon looking at like doing something
She
like
wanted
this.
to do this?
I can't say that she wanted to, but the problem
Well,
is,
what can you say then?
well, I can't say much. The only thing I can really say is the fact that, when I spoke to her, it's almost like she could do something about a certain situation. And I was trying to explain to her that there are some things in life that you can't change. And she was adamant that she could change something. So I told her, if you want to see if you could change something in that, I'll allow you to do that. And I allowed her to do that while I supervised her, but she still wasn't okay with it, She didn't, she was thinking, oh, there's still something else I can still change. So I told her, I'll let you be here, let you go through your memories as much as you want to, and hopefully
You say let her so she could leave anytime she wants.
leave is a bit abstract. I can't say that she can really leave. She
What
can.
what
Uh, well,
okay.
she can leave, yes, but it's like, think of it like a spell, right? For a spell, you need to have certain conditions met for that spell to become a thing, right? Like a fireball, for example. You need to pull up enough magic to be able to create a fireball, plus have the ports in your body strong enough to withhold that magic and convert it into something that would be a fireball, right?
Hmm.
Think of it like a
Yeah.
spell where she needs to meet a certain condition, well, with what I've put it, a certain set of conditions, and when she's completed that set of conditions, she'll be okay to leave.
You put a spell on her that held her in a mental prison against her will, that she can't leave whenever she wants. She has to do a certain set of things before she can.
You see, Aragon takes a sip of his tea before he looks at the fire and says, "Yes, yes, I did."
Okay. For a second, aura of domination pops up, but then he recedes it back. Um. All right. And have you been checking on her mentally, or
Yes. So, what I've essentially done is I've made it so I can, peer into the dreams. I can't speak to her, but I can check up on her and see how she's doing in those dreams. But it seems like she's been rolling through a lot of dreams. She's been, trying a lot of things and seeing if she could change something. And, I've seen her get angry that, she tries to change something, but in response to that change, something else happens that's unexpected. And, she's been rolling through those memories for I don't know how many times now. And, yeah, you know, and it seems like something's changing because the magic that I've put to kind of like make it so she has to meet certain conditions, she's meeting some of those conditions. So steadily, she's slowly making her way out of that mindscape. But there's still maybe like 2-3 more things left for her to complete before she can leave. So, and from what I've been looking at in her dreams, or what I've been looking at in her mind, she's trying her hardest to try to change something, but something
Yeah.
changes, something new happens, you know. So I mean, I could dispel it. I could dispel it if I need to, but it seems like the rate that she's going in her mind, it seems like she's looking for something, Zoro, and I don't want to disturb that, because it seems like with how much she's been searching, I don't know if there's something important to her that she's looking for, and I can't speak to her because, well, the magic that I've created, I can't infiltrate it. Unless I've got somebody here to supplement the power for me to go past it. But of course, you know, I'm not exactly somebody who is very well versed in magic, so I can't do that. So all I can really do is kind of look at her from afar and just make sure she's okay. I don't know.
Is there any way I can?
Yes, of course. If you want, I can get you situated and see if you can see what she's looking at, if you'd like.
I would like that, yes.
All right.
And Aragon,
Listen,
I really, really hope that you are right about this.
listen. There's no need to say anything about this, all right? I know what I've done, all right, and I'm willing to accept the consequences of it, because if it's something that could potentially help her, if there's a chance that I can be able to help her in any way, even if that means I'd have to become somebody she'd probably hate in the future, I'll gladly take that punishment, because I know I haven't said this much, well, to Shema at least, but you and Shema are people that I can understand. The only difference being is how we interpret the pain that we go through. We all have our own ways of interpreting our own pain, and the way I've interpreted it from her is what I've done to try to help her. And I know that in doing something like this, I will incur consequences. But I'm not going to act like I haven't done something like this before and haven't occurred consequences. I have. And those consequences still weigh heavier to me on this day. I've had to lose some friends because, well, I've showed them the truth. But because I've shown them the truth forcibly, I've lost them as a friend. And for me, I've gotten to a point where I'm okay with that. Because if it's something that can help them understand that not everything can be changed, or so some situations that you can't save, I'm willing to show them that. And if that means that I'd have to lose them as a friend forever, so be it. And if you guys feel the same way, I won't hold it against you. Don't worry. Whatever grudges you might have, I'll gladly pay that grudge back for sure. Because I know that in this world, people hold grudges. I know that. So, if there's any chance that, you know, after this whole ordeal is done, you want to slug me in the face, or hell, I don't know, probably stab me, you're free to do so. I'm not gonna hold it against you, because I know what I've done would occur such a very bad consequence, especially with somebody's mind as fragile as Shayma's. But if there is something that I might be right about, it's that the other two who are with her might be able to help me nudge her in the same direction that we want her to go. But if I'm wrong, you see that he pulls out a sheath dagger from his small, pouch that he has on his waist. He holds it out to you. He says, "Take this, and I will let you happily, you or Shema, allow you to happily stab me." I'm not kidding. You see that he twirls the blade, and you see that he unsheaths it, and you see that it is a very glistening and very, very sharp blade. It feels almost as if just looking at it would almost like cut your eyes out of your head as you are looking at this blade. It's just like, "I'll allow you to stab me with this thing, however many times you want to. And if you feel like it, you can stab me right now.
Aragon, there's no need for that. I don't care about that right now. Let me see, Shamar.
You see that he sheaths a blade, and you see that he kind of like puts the blade in your hand. Not the blade. You see that he puts the sheath dagger in your hand before he kind of gestures you to go upstairs with him. And as you guys go upstairs, you see that Aragon's wife is sitting on the bed, kind of like caressing Shamar's arm a little bit and moving some of her hair out of her face. As you see that, it seems like Shamar is in just a rather like deep sleep almost. And sorry. You see that it's almost like she's in like a very deep sleep almost. As you're looking at her, and you see that Aragon's wife kind of looks at you, gives a small bow before she leaves, and like quickly goes downstairs. As Aragon, pulls up a chair next to her bed, next to Shamar's bed, and gestures you to sit.
You'll go ahead and take a seat.
You have a seat, and you see that Aragon, kind of goes over. He's like, "Okay, so I'm gonna need to give you a small bit of time. Just give me one moment." You see that Aragon puts one hand on your shoulder, and then you see he puts one hand on Shamar's shoulder, and you can feel almost as if there is like magic trying to push its way into you, Zoro. And you see that it does, and it slowly begins to. It almost feels like your body begins to like relax a bit, like more than usual, more and more and more, until it's like you are so relaxed that you end up falling asleep. And in this, you wake up, but instead of being in the home with Aragon and Shamar, you are now standing in like a dark void, and you hear an echo from inside that says, "Hello, hello, can you hear me?"
I can.
Good. All right. So, this is kind of like the intermittent place, sort of, where where I would usually stand, and I would focus my magic a bit more, like this. You feel more magic kick into you, and you're now. It's almost like you are being pushed at like a very high speed into one direction, going so, bro. you're being pushed so far, like so fast into one direction, and you are stopped immediately, and you see Shamar. And what you can see, it's almost like you are standing like high above her, but you can see her, and it's almost like with clear eyes, even though you are very far, you can see the memory that she's playing. And we will now cut to Shamar. Shamar, what is this memory that Zoro would be seeing?
Well, that kind of depends. What's been going on for her?
And I will give you that now. Good thing you started with that one. I'm glad you started with that.
Okay.
Throughout this time that you've been in your mindscape, Shamar, you have been, rolling through all the crucial memories that you've been looking for. So essentially that memory of that, gathering inside of the wizard shop with the architect. You've been, rolling through different bits as to like different ideas as to what could change. Maybe you tried to kill the architect before, or maybe you killed Telemine before you could do anything, before you brought him to the shop. And when you brought him to the shop, hold on 1 second.
What I have.
Lovely weather we're having.
Lovely weather we're having.
It's fucking
Yeah.
windy as fuck over here.
It's not like I can't see the sky.
In Russia, we go up to the sky and we dive down to bus.
In Mother Russia, the sky falls on you.
We We learned this technique from southern partners in Japan.
In Russia, you don't fall from the sky. You
Okay.
the sky falls
I'm
from
back.
you.
Sorry, some small shit was happening. Okay. Dude, I just got started. What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
What the dog?
I was barking a lot. That's what it's doing. Just shut up.
What that dog doing?
You know, Aragon was very adamant on him getting stabbed.
Yeah, I was kind of confused on that one.
Yeah, like I was like,
Hey man,
I
I'll
mean-
volunteer.
I guess, but like, just because we don't like you doesn't mean we're gonna just try to actively harm you. You know,
For yourself.
Yeah.
Eric doesn't even know yet. Okay, I don't even know if Eric will know. That all depends on what Shamar does.
For real.
Dang. Can't believe you'd be a bad friend like that.
I'm not gonna tell you her shit, just like I haven't told her your shit.
Oh really? So
Yeah.
Zoro doesn't go around telling people Eric shit?
No,
Like
I
when
mean-
wife showed up, you fuck.
Not- why are you trying to hide that? I thought it was. It's
Yes.
it's literally well known knowledge. The fuck is you talking about?
From Weiss. Jackass. Fuck you.
Weiss? Bro, who gives a fuck what Weiss thinks? You are fucking Eric with a K.
A grown
Oh yeah.
man.
Now I'm Eric with the K. All right.
Yes. You, the fuck?
I'm Eric with the K. I'm gonna beat Aragon's ass.
First off, I am Eric with the K. Second off, you're not Eric with the K. I can't
Eric with the K is just Vegeta in another fucking.
in another universe, essentially.
I'm Eric with the K. You're Eric with the K. We're all Eric with the K.
Eric is not upset with you because he knows you're mentally ill. This is why he opened up a police department.
First off, I pretty foolish.
Did Cube
Okay.
go somewhere again?
Sorry, no,
Oh, there
because
you go.
what's it called? My sister was causing PT to be very loud, and I was losing train of thought. So where was I? Yes. Throughout this time, Shamar, while you were here in your mindscape, you were, rolling through different scenarios in your mind of like the situation with Telemine. Maybe if you had crafted the poison beforehand to Telemine to see if you can help him, and you fed it to him, a new situation popped up that would be unexpected. When you fed it to Telemine, you see that Telemine still died and still became the architect regardless. So you rolled through another scenario where like maybe when you brought him to the wizard shop, and Telemine had already turned into the architect, maybe you had killed him. But when that happened, there's a scenario that played out where like dozens of these tiny little like crystalline insects that begin to fly out from him start flying everywhere inside it, and it was like endless amount of like little like crystalline flies that would just be going around like turning the place slowly into crystal. Another one you thought of was like, oh, maybe if I took out the rune that was on his shoulder, but you notice that as you try to take off the rune, it's almost as you see that the rune is like carved into like a portion of the crystal that had almost like hardened to a point where like it's got like a weird like O shape around it, so it's kind of has like a protection ring around it almost. And then the sigil still went off and another scenario played, but you rolled through all these different crucial things in your mind of what like if I did this, what could have did, like, all that stuff. Something happened here, maybe something new could happen, and everything that you've tried, it all led to the same road of either Ravenfall dying, or the whole party gets killed, or the architect still walks free, but instead he's captured one of your party mates, or all those different memories that have like played out, and all those scenarios you've tried, it all still led to a road of somebody either dying or Ravenfall falling. You've also scuttled through, of course, a couple other memories as well. You've checked out, some of the past memories you've had, kind of wondering what happened in the past, in Iron Luna, some of the training that you've been through when you were in the Death Corps back in Iron Luna. You've scrolled through a couple of Amanda and younger Shamar's memories. And of course, some of those most of those memories were centered around Balin. And you've essentially just tried to fix something that, from what you're looking at, couldn't be fixed. Or from what you've tried, everything that you've tried to change in that, it's almost as if fate couldn't allow you to change it no matter how much you tried. Because even if you did change it, even if you managed to change something of that scenario, of whatever scenario, fate would have something new in mind that could, potentially be dangerous or harmful to not just Shamar, but not even, to Shamar, but to the elves, the party, hell, anybody. So, for this, Zoro, as you are looking at Shamar, you see that she's rolling through a memory, and you see that she's rolling through the part where she is, leaving Archie at the quarters, and you see that she's looking at herself leaving the quarters in this memory as you are looking high above her.
Out. You?
I'm sorry, what happened? Because your mic is very staticky right now.
How high above am I?
I'd say you're about like 400, 500 feet above her, but it's almost as if like your eyes are able to perfectly see what she's looking at as well. Like you can see the scenario that she's trying to look at. Almost as if Shamar looks like she's, looking for something in this exact scenario almost.
He's just gonna continue on. What is there any way he can talk to Shamar?
No.
Oh,
as Aragon has stated before, you can see Shamar's memories and you can see what she's looking at, but as for actually talking to her, you're not able to. And actually, when you're looking at her, as you look down at your own self, it almost looks like your own self is like ethereal. You're like transparent. You can see through yourself, but you're there.
Huh? No, they just continue on watching him.
Yeah, I mean, you continue on watching. Shamar, as you are looking through in this memory, looking at yourself, you kind of begin wondering, like, what is it that I could have changed here? Like, you're seeing yourself walk out of the quarters where you left Archie after the fight with the Crystalline Guardian, and you're looking at yourself like, is there something I could have changed here? Maybe I could have gone back in there sooner before Archie got sick, or, maybe I could have taken off my gloves or something like that. But you see that you're kind of looking at this and wondering if there's anything that you could change. Is there anything that you really want to do here in this memory in particular, or do you want to move on to another memory, or...
Yeah, I think if she's already done everything with the architect and like trying to see if she could have, saved Telemine somehow, and that's all come up negative, she wouldn't really have a lot else to do here. I think she'd probably be trying to like maybe speak more with either Kulkis or Balian, try to see if she can change things there. See if, she could do something to like maybe find out why Balian, sent her off, or why, what happened there. Maybe she would try and, like see if she could change something there, make herself strong enough so that way she could have done something. But if she knows that she can't, kill them in this moment, or like do anything here, I don't think she'd really be doing a lot of anything there.
Okay. Zoro, you see that the clouds begin to like encircle you, and you are now brought up to another memory. And this memory that you're looking at, you see that Shamar is looking at Balin. But you see, of course, there's two Shamars. But this one Shamar is talking to this Balin, in a forest in the old version of Ravenfall before, and it seems like this version of Shamar in this memory is talking to Balin about something before you see that Tao, comes in and says something to them. And you see, as you're looking at this, Zoro, you can see a very like pained expression on Shamar's face, and you can see tears running through her eyes as you see that she looks at Tal and says something to him before you see that both of them walk off away from Balin back to Ravenfall. And as you see that they are walking away, Shamar, you see that, throughout this memory you are looking at, the memory of when you talked to Balin outside of Ravenfall and Tal came in. But you see that as Tal, as you looked over at yourself and Tal walk away from Balin, you can see that Balin almost looks lifeless in this moment as you're looking at him. And it almost makes you puzzled as to like why it seems like Balin is at this point. And you then begin to scroll through other memories that you've had with Balin until you come across a memory that you yourself don't remember. So this might have been a memory that might have come up from the other Shamar. But what you're looking at is you are back in Iron Luna. And in Iron Luna, you are brought to what looks like a humble little home with like a archery archery yard in the front, where there's targets, and you see that there's like a place where there's bows and arrows, and you see that as you are looking at this like humble little home, you see that the door opens to the home, and you see a much what looks like younger Balin that doesn't have many gray hairs compared to the one you remember. A younger Balin with a smaller Shamar, and you see that this smaller Shamar seems to be running around this place happier almost. And you see that Balin kind of gestures her over and says something to her before you see that he picks up a bow, and you see that he is able to shoot. He's able to shoot this bow very accurately, actually, scarily accurate. As you see that Balin is still looking at this younger Shamar, and you see that he moves his arm past him and shoots one arrow, and he hits bullseye on target while he is still looking at this younger Shamar. And you see that this younger Shamar looks like amazed at like how he did this, and it got to a point where it's like he is now like training this younger Shamar in archery. Is there anything you want to do in this particular memory? Anything you want to change? Or
I mean, what else is going on here? Is he just showing her archery?
He is showing her archery, but it also seems like he is talking to what looks like someone as he is leaning up against a tree, and you see that his mouth is moving, like he's saying something, but there's no one in front of him as he's leaning up against this tree.
I guess Shamar would try and find the person who he's talking to.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Would that count as investigation? I think that would be counted as investigation. Sorry. Give me an investigation check.
All right. Well, I got a 14 on the perception and a 4 on the investigation.
I'll allow you to take the 14 from the perception for your investigation, because that was my fault. I gave you the wrong one. So on a 14, you You see that as you are like looking behind him, behind this tree that that this younger Balin is standing, like leaning up against. Um, you see that there is this like hooded individual that bears a very, very close, striking resemblance to Colchis. The patterns on his clothing, the jewelry he wore, his signature bow, it's him. And you see that he is leaning on a opposite tree from him, from Balin. But it's almost as if they're like they're like talking with each other. And you see that after a good maybe like 2-3 minutes of like this conversation between the both of them, like indirect conversation with the both of them, you see that Colchis stops leaning up against the tree, and you see that he disappears, knowing the magic that he used, Assassin's Retreat. You see that he is teleported somewhere. And then you see that Balin gets up from the tree that he's also leaning on and walks to the younger Shaymar, who was still practicing her archery, still a little off with her archery, of course. As you know, there are some points where she shoots an arrow and she misses the target. There are some times she didn't put enough power into drawing the bow and the arrow doesn't go far enough. But regardless, this Shaymar seems happy. And you see that she goes back to this Balin, as you see this Balin gives her a head pat and kind of walks her back to the house before, the door closes and the memory ends there.
All right. I guess she'll follow that kind of train of thought, and she'll just try and see if she can't find more memories that kind of connect what Colchis and Balin were trying to say or speak of there.
Okay. You begin scrolling through more memories that you've had, some memories of Amanda with Balin, and some other memories with younger Shaymar and Balin, until you come across another memory where it's the preparation day. You recognize this memory. It's the preparation day of the younger Shaymar's final test. And you see that this younger Shaymar is like pretty much wearing the typical deathcore attire, but of course much smaller. As of course she's grown up. You can see she's grown up, but not to pretty much mature size of an elf. But you see that she is wearing the gear that you are wearing. And you see that she looks over at this Balin. You see they have some small conversations, like, Balin obviously giving her the rundown of, this is your final test, giving her the rundown of how this whole test will work, and hands her a scroll. And you see that she unravels this scroll, and you see that the scroll on it, you see that it has a picture, almost like a drawn picture, and you see that the drawing of it is the drawing of Colchis in his assassin's attire. But you see that Balin talks about this individual like he doesn't know them, almost. You hear that Balin kind of talks about Colchis, and doesn't even say the name Colchis. He just says this person particularly, almost like he's trying to distance himself from this person as he's talking to this younger Shaymar, almost as if he doesn't know this person. And he's telling her that he's committed all sorts of heinous crimes throughout the village of Iron Luna. He's kidnapped some of the children and used them as child soldiers. He's basically giving her a rundown of what of Colchis' backstory, of like all of his heinous crimes, as he's telling it to this younger Shaymar. And you see that this younger Shaymar looks deathly like concerned about this individual's fate, because she seems very adamant that she is going to make sure to kill this individual. And you can see that this face of confidence and courage that she wears on her face is almost like something is pretty much what like you would wear, because you can feel that sense of confidence emitting from her, like you would when you are like protecting, when you know you can protect your people. So, and you see that this younger Shaymar goes off. You see that as she leaves, and you see that Balin kind of stands at the doorway and watches her, leave and go do her mission. Once again, Colchis appears again, but as in his assassin's attire. And you see that he's not in the doorway per se, but you see that he is inside of Balin's home, leaning up against the wall. And you see that the two of them seem to be talking about something again. Before you see that Balin and Culcus go over and they give each other a handshake. Before you see that Balin hands him a pouch of something. Before, or it's not Balin. Culcus hands Balin a pouch of something before Culcus leaves. And you see that Culcus teleports again somewhere.
All right. I guess Shamar will try to continue that memory, see what happens next.
In continuation with that memory, you are, striding through the village of Iron Luna, in your attire, but you also made sure to have your face covered, as of course you've had dealings with, you've dealt a lot with, the younger Shamar has dealt a lot with hanging out with the people in Iron Luna, so she wants to make sure that nobody can see her face. And you can see that this younger Shamar seems to be walking through this, walking through the stalls of Iron Luna. Before you see that she stopped by 2 elven guards. And as she stopped by these 2 elven guards, you see that these 2 elven guards kind of say something to her. Before you see that she immediately darts off towards an alley. And you see that in this alley, she takes a small... you see that she makes small leaps and bounds above the buildings before it's almost like she disappeared by the time the guards make it to this alley. And you see that this younger Shamar seems to be taking the rooftops towards the home of Culcus. And you see that as she, leaps over these rooftops, or leaps onto these different rooftops to make her way there, you see that she makes it to the front door of Culcus's mansion. Well, not really mansion, but home, essentially. And you see that she is looking at it, and you can feel like when you get a bad feeling in your stomach, it's maybe I shouldn't do this. That is the same feeling that you get from this younger Shamar as she's looking at this home of Culcus. You see that she looks at it and is kind of getting that gut feeling of maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe it's something that maybe there's something else I can do here besides, maybe murdering him in his own home or something like that. As you see that this, younger Shamar decides to, you see that instead of looking at this home, you see that this younger Shamar seems to catch wind of something in the ground. And you see that as she looks over, you see that she begins digging up something before she digs it up, and you see that it's a hatch to something. And you see that it's locked, but a little lock picking is not exactly something that this younger Shamar is a stranger to. As you see that she is able to definitely pick this lock and open this hatch. And onto the next memory, you see that she goes down into this very dark-ish type of dungeon that has these torches lit up. But you see that this place it seems almost like it was abandoned for a long time, but then somebody recently started using this underground dungeon. And you see that as this Shamar kind of starts walking through and wading through all of the little rooms and intertwined places, you see that these rooms have these seem like torture rooms, or you see that there are skeletons of what looks like other people underground here. And you see that this younger Shamar passes a door where it looks like it leads into this prison area where there's people that are inside prison cells. Before you see that this Shamar comes across a door that is kind of cracked, and you see that there is a light that seems to emit from it. And you see that in this light, you see that this younger Shamar kind of goes towards this door, and you see that the Shamar is looking at a portal that's opened, and you see that she's looking at 2 people. She's looking at a human that, oddly enough, seems to have small crystals kind of protruding from their shoulder all the way down to their fingertips, talking to Culcus in this room. And you see that they seem to be talking about something. Before, it seems like the Shamar might have made a mistake and made a sound or something. As you see that this individual with these crystals, this human that has these crystals protruding from his arm, with his hoodie on, looks over at the door and quickly runs into the portal and disappears. as the portal closes and Kulkus starts making his way to the door. And upon that, you see that the memory ends there abruptly, as you see that Kulkus pushes the door open, and it ends right there.
Right then. I think past that, guess Shamar wants to find out how she ended up where she is now, because that is presumably where she died. So how in the hell did she get where she is now?
The more you try to so as you're trying to look for memories pertaining to how Shamar is now, you see that there are no memories that seem to be backing up this. Almost as if like the memories were like forcibly erased from this younger Shamar's memories, or something might have happened to cause the Shamar's memories to just be gone entirely. But regardless, as you try to look for these memories that kind of pertain to Shamar's situation now, nothing comes up. All those younger memories of Shamar end up there, where the door was pushed open from Kulkus, and it just ends. There's nothing else that comes from that.
No, yeah. No, I was gonna say, she's trying to look now into the future to, like, how she is now. How did she join the Death Corps past that? What happened after that?
So, as for Shamar's beginnings with the Death Corps, there isn't really much that you can really see. Only that the memory starts where this Shamar you're looking at, this like much more Shamar that looks like the Shamar we have now, a much more adult-looking Shamar with a bunch of cuts and bruises all over her body. You see that she seems to be stumbling throughout this forest almost, in tattered clothing. As you see that she stumbles next to a tree. Before you see that, she looks up, and you see that there is a figure that stands above her. And you know this figure as Kulkus, as you see that he is still wearing his famous attire, wielding 2 daggers. You see that Kulkus kind of looks up at this Shamar, and you see this Shamar's face. You see that this Shamar you're looking at almost has like a face of like "help me" as she's looking at Kulkus. Almost like she doesn't seem to remember him almost. But you see, like it's almost like they've never met at all. And you see that Kulkus puts away his daggers, and you see that he like outreaches a hand to her and kind of like helps her up to her feet. And you see that he kind of like gives her a piggyback back to Iron Luna, oddly enough. As you see that the Shamar is being brought back to Iron Luna, you begin to see bits of these, it's almost like there's like a time lapse happening almost, where you see that the Shamar has gotten a bit more, better. There's no, all of the cuts and bruises that seem to be on her have healed, but there's still some scarring left over, which lead to your famous scars that you have on your current character. But you also see that Kulkus and this Shamar seem to be talking and everything like that. And you see that a bit more time passes as you see that there's an introduction to where Kulkus seems to bring her to a training grounds of sorts, and you recognize these training grounds. These are the training grounds for the Death Corps, and you see it's pretty much a boot camp for it. And you see that he brings Shamar over, and you see that as this Shamar goes through boot camp, you see that she does swell in this boot camp. You see that she was able to go through all of the physical drills, all of the drills pertaining to magic. You see that she's able to, like, almost as if she's done this before. But you see that this Shamar looks surprised at her abilities, almost as if she didn't know she had these abilities of her own. And more time passes in that, and you see that the Shamar has now finally, finished boot camp, and now she has finally become a lower recruit in the Death Corps. And you see that this is where you start to remember things now, Shamar, where you remember, some of your missions as a lower recruit, of some of the missions you were given, all of the scrutiny you were given as well, because you're a lower recruit, and hazing was usually the type of thing that would happen in the Death Corps. You remember that you remember the promotions that you've had, all those times that you were, training with some of these individuals. And of course, as a lower recruit, of course, as you are, going through these missions, and most of these missions would pertain to an assassination of sorts, you can see that this almost bright-looking Shamar seems to like slowly die little by little by little by little until it gets to a point where this Shamar almost is like how you are, very stern and serious. Milo, hey, don't go in the garbage. Sorry. You see that this Shamar looks very stern and serious, like how you are, and you see that as you are going through more of these missions, you see that some of these people, which you don't see proper like descriptors of these people, you see only like shadowy silhouettes of them, but it's like these people are trying to like reach out to you to say something, and it's like this Shamar is purposely trying to not pay attention to them for some reason. As you see that, some people are trying to like offer her something, as you see that they have their hands outstretched with like something in their hands, or some people seem to just try to talk to Shamar as kind of like, small talk, but none of them seem to reach Shamar at all. And you know this. This was during a time where, that, some of the missions you were going through, it's like, it got to a point where killing, it's almost ironic, as it's like, the killing that you've been doing for, the Death Corps was pretty much killing you. You were losing that brighter part of yourself little by little by little. The more of these assassination missions would come up, and the promotions you were given, and all this, you were famous. You were famous for such a very efficient and ruthless killer you were, but all that really didn't matter. To Shamar, it got to a point where it's like, what's next? It's almost as if like you were just wanting to get to the next mission. All of those little luxuries that you were given access to didn't matter to Shamar, and it you rolled through those memories all the way up until the point of the infestation, where you met the whole party, and that's where the memory of that ends there. But the memory still continues. It's just the memory that you know now from what happened thereon.
All right. Sorry.
Bless you.
Can I? Sorry, I'm sorry. Let me DM you something really quick.
Yes, do tell.
Mhm.
While we go through this little tidbit, we'll cut to the next person, if you don't mind. We'll just kind of cut to the next person, just as a small tidbit.
Go to Baprold.
Yes, Baprold. So, Baprold, as you were here in Ravenfall, you kind of took the time, I couldn't say acclimated with the people, as of course, the people were kind of, trying to acclimate with you, of course, with your drunken stupors, and of course, sometimes some of the party members would question, Falcaril late at night would kind of see you up and about, leaving the leaving the home, and making your way outside, and kind of sometimes questioning why you're leaving or whatnot, but essentially you've been here, just drinking, getting acclimated, keeping your bloodlust, I should say, under wraps a bit, and of course, you notice that there is as you were rolling through some of the days, it seems like the days seem to pass on more and more, but as you were, taking some drinks at the bar, or at the tavern, you notice as well that some people seem to be bringing up some, like, rumors of, like, this weird crystalline killer, where it seems like some of the cities that these people have, these people have named, which you know of, some of them that you've been to before have been completely decimated. Well, not decimated per se, but pretty much turned into, like, a crystal hell. It's almost like, the occupants of the place were turned into complete crystal statues. There are these weird pillars all around that seem to emit this weird crystal, or to emit this weird type of magic that they say is like some type of weird curse that if you get close to it, you will get cursed too. Basically just superstitions you hear. But the one thing that you know that they're all talking about is the fact that these cities pertain to the whole reason why they're gone or dead, pretty much, is that they've been attacked by some crystalline infection of sorts.
Babel would pretty much check within himself. Any part of him has like a remembrance of something similar. Like, pretty much, have I heard of something similar that could have evolved into that? In my cleric duties, ever seen like some sickness of that way?
In Baprold's memory, I'll kind of give it to you. In Baprold's memory, you've experienced that type of thing before too. You know, you've been to places where there have been very, devastating infections, but most of those infections pertain to like the killing of crops, which would lead to a famine, or there would be, some type of disease that would start to spread in the city, and you were, dispatched to kind of alleviate some of the people who were infected. But the whole thing about an infection that turns people into crystals, no, it doesn't seem like something that Baprold has ever encountered before. Infections, yes, but infections turning people to crystals is something, a whole new realm that Baprold would never have thought of.
Babel would pretty much just like, in his off time, he would just question like, crystal? Just pretty much questioning everything, or like how do I explain this? Like, he constantly reflects upon the very idea of this, like, disease as it appears to him, or like as he hears it. He wouldn't like directly ask about the rumors. He would just like listen in whenever he was like the keywords of like crystal and infection. He was just like,
Something caught on to Baprold right there, for sure. Something caught Baprold's attention. But you see that one day as you are, making your way through the streets, of course, making your way back to the bar that Zoro, or the tavern that Zoro owns, you see that there is a group of knights, and you recognize these knights. These are the holy knights that are the Kingsguard. You see that they are, of course, donning. Very heavy silver armor, of course, wearing some of the matching colors of like a very vibrant purple with gold accents to it, and it seems like they are very like pompous, gilded people. As you see that there is someone on a horse. There's someone on a horse that seems to look like a commander of sorts of this elite guard as they are strolling throughout the city. And you see that as you are walking towards them, you see that they stop, and you see that the person on the horse looks at you and says, "You, do you know who owns the city?"
Babel would just look left and right and then point at himself, just like, down to me.
You see that the man with a very stern face and many scars, with a very stern and many scarred face, looks at you and says, "Yes, you, drunken man. Do you know who owns the city?"
I think I do.
Then tell me, out with it. Who owns the city?
Nah, it's not worth it. Not worth it. Nah. They were kind of in the upper part. Anyway, if I remember correctly, have you tried checking the big house to the east?
You see that as you point over to the big house, you see that he looks over and says, "Well, I see that. Very well." You see that he pushes on, and you see that one of the elite guard kind of like shoulder checks you as they pass by, as they are passing you.
Bappa would just pretty much just like, he would hold back from just punching him in the back, just like, nope, we're beneath. They're beneath that. They're beneath. Or do I? You know what? Seems like business for me. I would like to just stalk them a bit, and like from a distance.
Okay. You seem to be stalking them, and for that, we'll kind of cut Bapple there with that, and we will continue with our dear Falcor. No, Shamar. Shamar we already got to. Falcoro. So Falcoro. While you're here throughout this 2 to 3 day, time skip, you have been anxiously waiting for a response from your brother. As you're, going through as you're studying, but the anxiety of this message to get back from your brother got to a point where it seems to like pretty much start affecting your studying, where it seems like you can't really focus on what you're studying. And after 3 days, you're in the, of course, Eric's study hall, studying whatever you could, and it got to a point where it's almost like you can't focus before you hear a familiar footsteps coming down and a yawn. Oh, man, that was a good nap. Oh, Falcoro! You see that Tal is over there by the stairs as he looks at you with a surprised expression. You see that he goes over and he kind of stands in front of your table, is like, "Hey, so, are you doing anything today?"
I don't have anything in particular planned.
Oh, cool. Say, I know that Celeste had like a new item in her bakery. You want to go try it out?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool. Let me just go get changed, okay? You see that he runs back upstairs. As you are, still looking, kind of getting all your stuff situated before you leave, you see that as you are moving some of your stuff, you see one of the notes from your brother that you had, received from him. It was the same note, of course, with his signature, and it kind of gives you a bit more anxiety over the fact that, he hasn't responded, which is a bit concerning.
She's gonna put the like envelope in like her pocket that contains the letter.
Okay.
Just keep it close.
All right. You see that as you put it in your pocket, you hear the footsteps run downstairs. You see Tal is still wearing his outfit, the outfit he wore at the masquerade, but you see that it's gotten a little tighter on him now. You see that Tal has gotten a bit more training with Zoro and Mercurio a bit in Shamar's absence. You see that it kind of worked out for him a little bit, but still fits him. You see that he looks over, he's like, "Hey, come on, let's go."
Okay.
You see that you both make your way out, and you guys make your way to one of Celeste's to Celeste's bakery. As you walk in, you see that Celeste seems to be running around in the back with some of the staff. As you'd see that the place has pretty much been like jam packed with people. As there's like a very long line inside of this place that seems to be asking for the very same pastry that Celeste had brought up on their menu. And you see that Celeste is trying desperately to make sure that they are stocked up, to make sure that, of course, they can still keep selling it. As you see Tal look over, he's like, Oh, that's Celeste back there. Oh, man.